Inside your spotlight this morning, we are getting ready for the Paris Summer Olympics 2024. This morning, I want to welcome the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, Diane Henderson. Good morning to you, Ms. Henderson.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I am good.
Are we ready?
Yes, we have to be.
We have no other choice but to be ready, right?
Yes, correct.
How big is the contingent expected to go across to Paris?
Somewhere between, let's say, 28 and somewhere between 28 and 30. It's not finalized yet. And maybe later on in the conversation we'll see why.
Well, I'm not want to ask one time. Let me get how come it's not finalized yet? What are we waiting on?
No, well, the date for actual final qualification for athletics is the end of the month.
Right.
So, I mean, all know that the entry is. They have their national championships this weekend coming at the stadium. Mm-hmm. Please come out and support the athletes. So, we have to wait on that, and then they would send in their final nominations, selection, and we do the final and submit we also have an Olympic Committee deadline date, early July, to send in those final entries.
So the final date for entries for the Olympics, their date is June, end of June or end of July?
July.
End of July. So we're going to use this weekend, the qualifications from this weekend to determine, for the athletics to determine the final.
That's the entries, TT, final qualification.
Okay, so the first thing we need to get out of the way is that we need to go on down to support. This is at the stadium this coming weekend, yeah? So we're heading down to the stadium to support this weekend, to see what the athletes are made of, to see who's going to qualify, who is going to be representing us, Trinidad and Tobago, at the Olympics. So tell me about the plan for Paris. Are there going to be training camps when we get there? Anything like that happening?
So yes, there's a training camp that Pan Am Sports did something different this year. So what they did is arranged for the whole region, all those countries who were willing to or wanting to do a pre-games camp,
right,
and under their auspices. So they arranged the camp in Mulhouse, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, where several Caribbean countries and maybe one or two Latin are going to Mulhouse with, now that is mainly athletics.
Right.
Swimming, Dylan Carter may be going elsewhere to a swim camp,
right,
as well as the cycling. There's no velodrome there, so that means that they would be going direct to the velodrome. So they're a little split in the beginning, but that's fine. That's based on the sport and what would be
and everybody still
necessary.
gets their time to finalize and
yes,
to fine-tune.
Yes, for sure, and the relay teams definitely have to continue that synergy in passing the baton.
Yeah.
So we need to have.
What are some of the things that we have to take into consideration when going to a place like Paris to start training there, and what we have to adjust when it comes to our performances? Like, what do we need to cater for? Like, sometimes if you go to a place like Mexico or whatever, they say you have to adjust for the air quality and that kind of thing. Are there any adjustments like that?
I don't think there's much, and you're putting me in a coach thing, but I don't think there's that much because these athletes are accustomed traveling and going all over.
Okay.
Paris, Europe is and at this time it's summer, so it's getting into the real summer. Yeah, summer. So therefore, really and truly, I don't think that there's that much adjustment. The temperature would be slightly different, but they're accustomed to that.
Right.
So it's no drastic, altitude change and stuff. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I understand that there were some Olympic Day celebrations or activities over the weekend. Tell me about how did it go?
So this year we had 2 days of celebrations, and just to say it was fantastic. On Friday, which is traditionally the Olympic Committee has had a day to bring in the students, the schools, from primary schools from all over the country, Trinidad and Tobago. We had at least 300 students coming into the savannah, just at the top of Woodfoot, close to the Olympic Committee's office.
Right.
And traditionally it has been on Abercrombie Street in Lord Harris Square. So all of these students come and be engaged with approximately 18 sports that bring out their craft, their sports, their athletes to engage the athletes, make sure that they can learn a skill. And it was so fantastic seeing all the different, tennis being played on a with the right size ball and texture and softness.
Nice.
Boxing. There's so many different sports that were there that really, you saw the kids having a ball and all being in, and moving from one tent, one
Activity
station to another, one activity to another. You know, that just ingrains what the Olympism is about and the values, because, you know, you get these athletes being being inspired by some of the athletes. We had young, forgive me for the names, I'm terrible with names, but the recent weightlifter that attended Pan Am, and she was coaching the guys on how to lift with, you know, and all the techniques in weightlifting. So, you know, the cyclists were there, the you know, lots of activities. So
Fantastic.
It was really, really great to see that. And then on Sunday, on Olympic Day yesterday, we had the Olympic relay, which I must remind the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, before I was even part of the committee, in 2002, around that time, the 90s going into the early 2000s, we used to have the relay. And that relay was brought back last year because the bringing together of all the athletic and sport clubs and sporting organizations to participate as teams. So they actually, 5 members, each had to run a lap of the savannah.
Nice.
But, you know, that is my thing. But point about it is that the camaraderie and the sort of was really, really healthy.
Yeah.
Friendship, camaraderie, and everything, respect for each other, everything of Olympism was definitely alive.
Nice. Love to see that. Tell me about the support banner. I understand there was a support banner, or there is a support banner for people, the public, to engage with the Olympic team.
Okay, so that might be more of a, oh, that one. Okay, you call the name that, okay, so the support banner. All right, so basically what our team, Chef de Mission there, Lovey Santana, arranged that banner, as you say. I didn't call it a banner.
What you call it?
No, never mind. So Hazy Crawford graced us with his presence on the Olympic gold medalist on Friday with the kids, and it was so great to have him around. He was really, you know, happy to be there, and signed the banner first, and we all signed it. I'm not sure whether or not it was left for all the kids to sign, but I think it was for the DPS from the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, and Mr. Samsung from THA Sport Division, newly incorporated. So, as well as First Citizen.
Tell me the point of the banner. Is it just for people to sign, or is it meant to go with the team?
I think it was just a significance to connect Paris and Trinidad and Tobago and have that visual, you know, because the connection is very. We also have history with the Embassy of France, and Didier Chabert opened the race yesterday. He was absent on Friday. However, his officer was there, Derek Parker. So the collaboration between the French and the Trinidad and Tobago is alive, and we wanted to signify this with Paris and Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm happy that you mentioned the relationship between the embassy, of course, and Trinidad and Tobago, because I imagine there'd be some support needed as we get ready to head across the pond.
Oh yeah, they have been in connection, collaborating with us for months now.
Nice.
So, you know, because the road to Paris does not start, it started 2 years ago.
Right.
And since last year, you know, there have been different things and requirements, delegations, communication, and so that have to be ongoing. So that would have been in collaboration with the ambassador.
All right. I understand there's another collaboration for the opening ceremony. We have a special uniform courtesy the Hideout Clothing. Tell me a little bit about that collaboration.
Yes, so that correspondence came to me sometime last year, and I thought it would be, you know, really a good initiative. But first, you know, we wanted to make sure that our major sponsor, Puma, was okay with it.
Right.
And we made sure that that was on board and they were okay with it. So we went ahead and had the discussions with the Hideout Clothing. That is Sebastian. And he's actually stationed in Paris in
You'll understand the French, these French names.
I've been practicing French for 8 years and I'm still not great with it, but to be honest. But so no, it's just the pronunciation of the town, the city that it is in, you know, the area. Very, very big area. And so they have a store there of which they will have the clothing and so on. They thought it would be great to have that collaboration with Trinidad and Tobago because he has Trinidad heritage.
Yeah, he's from here.
So the whole thing is that it blended perfectly. And it's only for the opening ceremony.
Right.
All other, from post the opening ceremony, all other wear must be Puma wear, as is traditional. And so, that will be very, very ecstatic about the whole thing. I think it will bring some pride, additional pride.
Do we get a sneak peek of what the uniform look like?
Well, that is coming very close.
Okay.
We're almost a couple days away from that being
revealed.
Revealed.
All right, so we look forward to it when it is revealed. Tell me some of the challenges that a team faces when we're getting ready for the Olympics. What the committee faces and the team faces.
Well, we attempt to. A big thing is the financing and the support to help athletes, because to go to any games, to get the right equipment, to make sure that you are healthy, you have the medical support, you have the nutrition support, you have there's a whole big support that the coaching may not be all local, the coaching may be international. So, all of this takes financing. So through our grants and through the scholarship from the IOC, and so some of these athletes are supported, but the others are not. So the whole thing about it is that thankfully for the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, they have their grant and program, and therefore the athletes have the opportunity to request and get some support. So yeah, the whole thing is that is one of the major challenges that we continue to have. That's where the Athlete Welfare and Preparation Fund, the Gold Foundation, comes about, and they walk every year in January for the Trinidad and Tobago International Marathon.
But tell me something, if it is that we only get in the last bit of contenders, who go in the last bit of the team going up for the Olympics this coming weekend out of the championships this weekend, do they have enough time to raise the financing needed, or has the financing been already raised for whoever gets through?
Whatever support has started being given since last year.
Right.
This thing does not take, it takes 10 years, it takes 4 years, it takes, a few of the athletes are young. As we saw, there was a transition after Tokyo Olympics. So there was a transition with this is particularly athletics, but all sports.
Yeah.
There's a transition, and we have to keep our minds and eyes open for when these ages and these transitions happen, so that we are on the ball. And that's why it's so important to have a base of athletes, so that you're always, keeping that next row of athletes, or that next level of athletes prepared. Because they don't just get there just like
Not
that.
overnight,
And that's why we ask for the support from our own Trinidad and Tobago community to really, really rally behind the sporting, the athletics, I should say athletics.
Sports in general.
The sports in general.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to differentiate from football and cricket there, but because they get it.
Right.
The stadium is full for the recent football match, so we want athletics to be full this weekend.
Right.
We have to recognize there's no difference. They prepare the same way, and they need that support because that's what gets them going.
Yeah.
We saw what happened last year in the games, where those athletes, swimmers, really came out, and those athletes really got medals because of that support they were getting, so.
All right, well, tell us how we can support this weekend. What time is it, and all that good stuff?
Okay, I'm not the entries, however, but I don't know all the times as yet. But definitely, I think in the afternoons, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right, so this weekend.
This weekend,
all
Friday,
at the
Saturday, Sunday.
Stadium.
Yes, they have. I'm not sure in terms of the Saturday morning, but definitely Friday, Saturday afternoons at the stadium. I'm sure you could pay at the door. Let's come out and support them.
Let's support as we get ready to head to Paris, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say thank you very much, Diane, for joining us this morning. And all the best as we get ready to head to the Olympics. I hope that when we reveal the opening ceremony, you come back to show it off here.
Well, we don't have the actual thing
Well,
here.
of course, but we'll show a little something.
Of course,
yeah,
definitely.
Man. All right, so thank you so much again for joining us, and all the best. I'll be getting ready to head to the stadium this coming weekend to support the people vying to be a part of the team. And of course, we support the team as we get ready for the Olympics 2024, the Paris Summer Olympics. We'll take a quick break and come back with more. 26 is the opening ceremony. Nice, what we do.